Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to compare the Sculpted Tint Glow Skin Enhancer with the recently launched Luna by Lisa Airbrush as well. These both recently launched in Ireland. Lisa Jordan launched her Airbrush, Amy Connolly launched her Tint Glow, and I wanted to compare them together, but then also because I've been getting so many questions on Instagram about how they compare to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm filming this in natural light and hopefully the light isn't going to change too much because I just want to show it to you in its true form, if that makes sense, because I find that if I use a ring light or a false light, it just makes everything look too perfect, and I want you to be able to, if you are going to be buying any of these online, to see them what they look like in real life, on real skin. You can see like I have blemishes and everything like that. That's just my face. That's okay. So starting off with the Sculpted Tint Glow, this comes in 10 shades and they sent me shade 2.0 and 5.0. Now 2.0, it's pretty much like a perfect match for me at the moment. It's nice and pale. And then 5.0 would be for if I had tan on. So yeah, this is a skin enhancer and it has hyaluronic acids. So that's going to help hydrate your skin. It also contains niacinamide and that's going to help smooth out your skin, helps to visibly minimize your pores. It's going to improve your skin tone and help increase radiance. Now the glow on this is unreal. I'm going to show you shade 2 first. That was a lot. Okay, you can see that it's nice and thick in terms of consistency, and this is also a mineral formula as well, so if you have sensitive skin it's not going to break out or react to this. So they sent this brush as well. It's like a double-ended brush. That's what I'm going to use to apply this now. If you head to the Sculpted website, there is a shade matching section as well if you wanted to kind of see if you have any of the other makeup products, you'll be able to compare. I'm shade this in Second Skin, what am I in Tint Glow. That's it there. That's shade 2. You can see that it doesn't give a huge amount of coverage, that the sheen is really natural, because I find that somebody like me who has an oily T-zone, I'm very aware of when I look too shiny. I want to look naturally glowing and not look like I'm sweating buckets. It's worth noting as well that Tint Glow has SPF 30. I'm going to do a whole other video or blog post on this because I find that when it comes to makeup products, if they have an SPF, it's an added bonus. I wouldn't buy it just for the SPF 30 because you're not always going to apply the right amount. If you were to apply a separate SPF compared to this product that has obviously the pigment in the formula as well as the SPF, there's a lot less SPF in this, in like a teaspoon of this compared to a teaspoon of pure SPF, if that makes sense. I really like the packaging. It has like a little nozzle that you can dispense the nice amount out. Now you're going to see the shade 5 is way too dark for me, but sure, listen. Actually, I'll work this in with my fingers. The formula in this is really nice because it's quite thick when you put it onto the back of your hand, but it melts into the skin really nicely. So you can see that yes, it is the wrong shade for me, but with a tan it would be lovely. That's shade 2 and that's shade 5. Gives the most gorgeous sheen. So now I think what I might do on my forehead is, I have 2 here, I'm going to add a little bit of 5 in so you can see. I'm going to actually use the other end of the brush to make the little cocktail and then apply it. Yeah, see, that's a bit more of like a natural finish, or not natural finish, more my skin tone, because it just has like a little bit of warmth. So here we have Tint Glow shade 2. Oh no, the sun. We have Tint Glow shade 2, shade 5, and shade 2 and 5 mixed together. I'd happily wear this on its own, you know, if I wanted just like a really natural look, or you can wear it under your foundation as well. It doesn't quite set down, but it's not kind of heavy on the skin, if that makes sense. It feels like really lightweight on, because I know, again, with me, with my oily T-zone, I'm very aware of if my skin feels like tacky or moist. I wore this all day yesterday on its own and it just looked stunning from like start to finish. Really enjoy this. Everything that I've talked about today, I'm going to have it linked below in the description box. God, it's been a while since I've said that. I know, YouTube, I missed you. Anyway, that is Tint Glow by Sculpted on the Visage. The makeup is off, let's go in with the Luna by Lisa Airbrush. So this is a 3-in-1 primer, highlighter and a tint as well. This comes in 5 shades compared to Sculpted's 10. So they sent me shade Nude and shade Beige. So this is the second lightest and then the third lightest of the 3. On the website this is down as light nude, FYI. But this is my perfect shade. Now in fairness, you'll see I'm going to use both of them. There's not a huge amount of difference in the shades like compared to each other. There's like a little bit obviously more warmth in Beige. But yes, I'm going to do this. So yeah, you can wear this as a primer, as a skin tint, as a highlighter over your foundation. My skin has been loving this. Now, this is the applicator. I think this is the only downfall for me, just in terms of effort of having to kind of go back in and go back out. I would just, if they brought it out in a pump, I think, or like a squeezy tube, I think it'd be a lot better, even in terms of hygiene. So I'm going to apply shade Nude on my face, and I find because I keep having to dip in, I'm using a lot more than I probably normally would, like compared to the Sculpted. That's the formula there. You can see that it's nice and thick, and I'm going to use the brush that it came with to work it in. I love the fact that the two, okay, now we're going to go really dark again. Great. And there we have the finish of shade 2. Just the sheen is so nice. Oh my god, I love this. I'm going to show you shade, the middle shade, Beige, now in a second. We could mix these two shades to probably get like the absolute perfect shade, but I feel like this shade is perfect for me at the moment. I haven't been wearing a lot of tan because I haven't really been going anywhere, but so there you can see Beige here in action. So it's slightly darker. Do you know what? I'll show you swatches on the back of my hand. So this is Nude and this is Beige, FYI. Nude is slightly peachier and Beige is a little bit more warm, a little bit more neutral. They're so nice on. So comparing Luna by Lisa Airbrush to Sculpted Glow, I feel like Airbrush has slightly less of a glow. It's a more natural finish for me anyway. But it's like, honestly, the difference is minimal. And I'm just being really picky, like with my mirror all the way up to my face. But this is gorgeous. I've been wearing this so much and it sits really nicely under foundations as well. Because this is touted as a highlighter, I'm going to apply foundation and then I'm going to show you what it's like as a highlighter over the top, because I do want to compare this as a highlighter to Hollywood Flawless Filter as a highlighter. Now, Sculpted Tint Glow isn't really aimed to be a highlighter, so I'm not going to use it in that capacity. But let me see, what foundation do I have handy? This is actually the combination that I've been wearing loads recently. So Airbrush in shade Nude, and then the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. Oh my god, all the words, in shade 30. This foundation, I feel like this deserves either a video or a post on its own, or maybe I'll do a video on different kind of lightweight foundations. If you do want to see that, let me know, because it is fabulous. I'm just going to use the same Luna Lisa brush here to work this into the skin. So I want you to see what the foundation looks like on its own, then with Airbrush over the top as a highlight. Like, isn't, oh, I can't, my skin looks amazing with those two on. Oh, okay, we have the Urban Decay foundation over the top, and now I'm going to go back in with shade Nude and my cheekbones as a highlight. I'm going to apply the same amount that I would if it was Hollywood Flawless Filter, so it would be this amount. And actually I'll work it in with my fingers. So that's it over the top of the foundation. You can see that it doesn't really add a huge amount of highlight on top of the foundation, so I want you to remember this, because I'm going to do the same thing with Flawless Filter in a second. So yeah, Luna by Lisa, if you could just bring this out in a few more shades and also give me an L pump or a squeezy tube, I'd be delighted. Okay, the makeup is off again and it's time to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is iconic. I've been using this for years and I think it's one of my all-time favourite products. It was a little bit of a grower. I did a blog post when it first launched and I'm going to share the link below, because I showed before and after photos of how it looks on the skin on its own, mixed in with makeup, and then over the top of makeup. So I have shade 2.5 and shade 3. This comes in 12 shades compared to Sculpted's 10 and Luna by Lisa's 5. In terms of the applicator, it's the same as the Luna by Lisa. It is this. This is one of the issues that I had with Flawless Filter anyway as well. Let me just see if I'm applying it correctly, because I want to try and apply the same amount as the airbrush. So in terms of the formula, this is a thicker formula compared to airbrush. You can see it's a little bit like the shimmer is a little bit more obvious in this as well, just from like those swatches. So I'm going to use a clean brush now to work this into the skin. I remember when this first came out, a lot of people weren't sure how to use it. Like, they were wearing it like as foundations, which you can layer it on a little bit, but it was too shimmery for me on its own. I just looked like I was an absolute robot. This is said to blur, to smooth, to illuminate your complexion. You can see that it doesn't give a huge amount of coverage, but the level of coverage compared to airbrush and I suppose the Sculpted is quite similar. Let me do shade 3 on the other side so you can see. So you can see, yeah, shade 3 is slightly warmer. There isn't a huge difference with it. You can apply any of these with a beauty blender, with the brush, or with your fingers. I feel like compared to the other ones, this just has that little bit more of a glow. I feel like I look sweaty kind of here and here, but that's what it looks like anyway. I wouldn't be a fan of wearing this, the Flawless filter on its own, compared to Sculpted and Luna by Lisa. I'm not sure, I just think it's a little bit too glowy for me. I look wet rather than sheeny. But I'm going to show you what it's like with the Stay Naked Hydromaniac foundation. Bring it over the top of foundation as a highlight is my favourite way to wear a Flawless filter. See, that's better. That's better. So now if I want to do like a little bit more glow, I'm going to add 2.5 onto the high points of my cheeks. That's where we're at now. If you have a matte foundation as well, this sits really nicely over the top. I speak from l'experience. This definitely gives more of a sheen over your foundation compared to Luna by Lisa Airbrush, I think. So nice. Yeah, really enjoying the glow on my skin. So that's what Flawless filter looks like on. So do you need both of these? Let's do like a little proper run through. In terms of coverage, I feel like they both give the same amount of coverage. I feel like they both give similar amount of glow. I think Sculpted slightly pips it, slightly. In terms of the glow, you have Luna by Lisa has 5 shades compared to Tinted Glow's 10 shades. The applicator might be just, I think, a personal preference. So either if you prefer like a nozzle, squeezy out nozzle, or if you prefer a wand, the applicators are different. You get 30 mils for €22 with Luna by Lisa, or you get 45 mils for €25 with Sculpted. This has the bonus of having an SPF 30, but that's like a little extra. I wouldn't get it just because it has SPF 30. You should be wearing a regular SPF under both of them anyway. What else do I have to say? So while this is touted as a primer, a tint and a highlighter, it doesn't quite reach the level of highlight on the face over your foundation compared to Flawless filter. This is touted as a skin enhancer. This is almost like a mix of skincare in with a slight tint. Do we need both? Okay, after like kind of discussing all those, do you need both? I don't think you do. I think what you need to do is figure out what are your priorities, or what do you prefer? Do you prefer something with a squeezy tube over the wand? Do you prefer something with a little bit of extra SPF or not? Do you prefer something that is touted as a primer or something that's a skin enhancer? Do you want a little bit more bang for your buck in terms of value? And this does have more shades as well. I hope this video helped you decide which one to potentially pick up. If you've any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them as best as I can. And I'm going to keep using these. Do you know what? I might even do on Instagram, if you want to come over and follow me, like a half face wear test type thing. Let's see if you can guess which side of my face I have either of these on. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I don't want to take this off. I look so good.